his salary, 110.
In the game of life, one spin can change everything. And for one family, that game has become reality. Mike Lindstrom is one of the many workers losing their jobs at Fitzpatrick nuclear power plant.
It's like, kind of felt like, oh crap, now I'm going to have to look for another job. And so then that just opens up all sorts of other thoughts as far as, possibility of moving, and then all the difficulties with doing that and adjusting to that.
This past November, Entergy announced that they would close the James A. Fitzpatrick nuclear power plant near Scriba, New York. Fitzpatrick is one of 3 plants in the area and employs 615 workers. Mike's wife, Claire, told us the news was hard to take.
It just, stinks, because at least for me, it was harder because I felt like, okay, well, we have a year, but, I don't know. I don't know what we're going to do. I still don't know. A year from now, it's not going to be any different than right now.
The closure isn't the only thing that they're worried about. Claire also suffers from Lyme disease, and losing their health care could be devastating.
This summer when we learned that it might be possible that it would shut down, I was very ill. There was a period that I was in a wheelchair for, any lengthy travel. I couldn't walk much, and stress certainly exacerbates it. So it's a concern. I mean, it's a huge expense anyway. Even with insurance, we pay about $30,000 out of pocket every year.
But the workers aren't the only ones worried about the closure of the plant. Here in Mexico, they're also worried about losing a significant portion of their school funding. Even though there are 3 power plants in the area, Mexico School District only receives funding from taxes paid by Fitzpatrick. The superintendent, Sean Bruno, says that with the plant not closing immediately, the full impact is unknown. They are trying to plan a budget to offset the $12 million projected loss.
So we're in a little bit of uncharted territory, so there's a little bit of unknown there. So we're really not quite sure what the end number is and what the numbers in between that process are.
Ready, go.
So the challenge is, how do we continue to offer the opportunities for our students with reduced revenues? And certainly that is a huge challenge.
The school district has just finished renovations that include a new gym with rock climbing walls and added a robotics program. This was all possible because of the tax money paid by Fitzpatrick.
So that will be a challenge for us. How do we continue to keep that level of opportunity up with reduced revenues? It's something that will continue to negatively impact the school district and the community in waves over years.
And parents are worried too. Lisa Teeters is a single mother that lives in New Haven but works at SUNY Oswego and is worried that it could mean higher taxes.
It might get a little tough because I'm a one-income family, just myself and my kids. It might get a little tight for us, but hopefully we can weather it.
But this isn't the first time this has happened in the area. Ranjit Degay, the chair of economics at SUNY Oswego College, says it can create a cycle of people losing their jobs, schools losing funding, and property taxes increasing.
When that happens, you lose a lot of the tax base. Whatever taxes were paid by the corporation, whatever taxes were paid by people who work there, and you get that vicious cycle. Like Fulton, New York has even higher property taxes than Oswego does.
In 2003, the Nestle's chocolate plant in Fulton closed, taking with it hundreds of jobs and their considerable tax payments. Fulton was forced to raise property taxes to cope with the loss of tax revenue. And if it weren't bad enough, Fitzpatrick is fighting the tax assessment, which could mean Mexico would have to pay back a lot of the money that they have already received. While Superintendent Bruno is preparing for the worst, he's also still hoping for the best.
I'm looking forward to Governor Cuomo stepping in and helping out. That would be very helpful at this point in time.
The Lindstroms are also hoping something will change soon.
I don't know how the education, for the Mexico schools is going to survive this. I don't know how these communities are not going to take a big hit. I mean, people are going to leave.
Entergy has announced an official closure date of January 27th, 2017. while the state of New York is still proposing incentives in hopes of finding a way to keep the plant open. Amber Smith, NCC News.